Oh, you know, honestly, I haven't... We need to check up on Citropolis as well. Make sure everything running there is... Make sure everything there is running fine. I can't remember if I need one of those going there. I promise to take care of things. I'm going to. I won't let you down. Oh, Firefly. Yeah, I really need to get a horse. You go home. Oh. Where's my map? Suddenly not. Keep going straight into the river. Hello. I'm definitely not panicking because they are already on their way. I mean, I don't know anybody. I'm going to check on the people and the places. Actually, how do I get out? I figured it out, don't worry. Hey! Chatbot's turned off. So... I don't have Bikuban on. And it's because I'm doing lore! I get to meet new people! Is there anybody near me right now? Look, Chatbot should be working now. Please don't use Chatbot a ton while I'm doing lore, though. I guess it's mine and lore, so it's fine. I should go into the hospital alone. Well, nobody else is online. This seems like a great idea. We can get some medicine. You know, I don't know. This hasn't been too bad of a journey. Something's behind me, and I'm not a fan of it. Not me forgetting what button it is to shoot, my lord. Yeah, don't remind me. I have to turn this way. Oh, you know, honestly, this is quite nice when there's nobody here.
Hello?
Hello?
Can I get some help, please? Thank you. Where am I? Oh,
In
hello.
danger, clearly.
I mean well, that's obvious. I mean location.
Cetropolis.
And Cetropolis is...
I mean, that's what this place is called.
Does anyone own this place, or... Because I see signs and lights, so I imagine someone owns it.
It's more of a neutral ground.
Oh. Do you live near here, or...?
I suppose. It's, I was checking on it while the others were away.
Oh. People of your group has gone missing? Are you nomads as well?
No, not nomads, and they aren't exactly... We should get inside. It is the middle of the night. My lord.
Good smart. Lemon Co. I wonder who they are.
No, I know where my group was when they're just out on a bit of a mission.
Oh. Mind if I take this?
Yes, please.
Oh, you have very nice hair.
Oh.
Is that how social interactions work? You say you compliment the person?
I'm unaware. It was never my strong suit.
Neither. I wasn't. I was mostly just. I'm a scientist, so I'm mostly just.
Oh, as am I.
Oh, what do you specialize in?
Neuroscience.
How peculiar. So do I.
Fascinating, really.
Yes. What type of neuroscience do you specialize in?
I was researching the effects of the virus on the brain.
Oh, fascinating. I was in the facts of memories impacted by trauma.
Fascinating. Sorry, we should find a much more suitable place to sit.
Do you have a place located? Yeah, there's a dining room. Oh, it's set for 3.
Oh, look at that. How wonderful.
My goodness. My goodness. I'm assuming from your education you were also part of the sector at one point.
I was. I grew up in what was the New York sector. I don't know if it's called that anymore.
No way. I believe is that the one where it combined New Jersey? That one was combined with New Jersey.
It might have been. It's been many years.
Oh my! I believe we might have been from the same. We might have lived in the same sector at some point.
Really?
Yes, I moved here. My grandparents, I believe, moved here from Europe when it collapsed.
I see. Sorry, forgive my rudeness, Dr. Katelyn Atkins.
Oh my goodness, my own rudeness, Dr. Isla Nevian.
Wonderful. I'm sorry. I very rarely get to talk about such esteemed things with my...
Neither do I. It is so hard to find a scientist. I've been wondering. I found a scientist, but they were oh, that is an open door that we have. That's not
Oh,
smart.
well... That could have
Let's
ended
leave
poorly.
that shut. That's a bit of a mistake and all, but every scientist makes mistakes.
Oh, here, actually, I do know a much quieter place in the area.
You seem to have all the weapons. I sadly...
Are you unarmed?
No, I have a weapon. I do have guns, but I'm out of ammo.
Oh.
I unfortunately suffered... I also have a gas mask on for some reason.
What ammunition does your weapon take?
Standard handgun or heavy handgun.
Here, I have a few extra cartridges I can lend you.
Oh, that is...
Okay, let's,
Well, that's almost up. Well, I have a singular left.
I believe it was this way.
Let's see. I'm not very physically strong. Let's give this a go. Let's use this axe as a go.
It's much quieter down here, I promise.
Oh, it's a bit dreary. Very dark. Oh, there's a bit of light. Oh, this is quite homely.
Isn't
Little
it?
built-in cinema.
Yes, I was taken here my last time I was here, and it was quite nice.
How delightful. What? So did you? I'm assuming from the fact that you're out here not in the sector, you also got removed.
Unfortunately, my research was deemed far too dangerous.
My research was successful and it benefited a lot, but sadly, it turns out when you're no longer useful, you get removed. When my research was complete, they didn't really want to credit the mind who made it. Instead, they wanted to patent it for money.
Oh, patents.
Patents, the worst nightmare of any good scientist. What do you mean I can't use this experiment? It will revolutionize.
That was my point, exactly.
Governments have been trustworthy because they do provide funding. Of course, we do need funding.
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, when they removed me, I had to abandon my research, and I have yet to find a good place to start again.
My exact problem. Being a neurosurgeon yourself, you must know that there are very few places you can find advanced CRT machines.
Oh my god, yes.
You are a delight. You are. I've not met many people. I was raised as a government. I was kind of sold by my parents to be a government bureau brain. I have an IQ of. I was tested for a government facility. I tested for an IQ of 181 at the age of 3.
Oh my. So, I am in the presence of such an intellect.
Oh, you flatter me. A clinical genius. I believe the term is heightened individual. My abilities are. Turns out when you're so able to recognize things very fastly, it's very handy when you're a neurosurgeon.
It is.
Have you been using how long have you been out in the wastes?
Unfortunately, it's been about 7 years.
Oh my goodness.
I
Not
know.
as long as I've not been out as long as you. I was out maybe a few years. 4, maybe?
Yes, well...
It's hard to say. It's very hard. I miss technology and instant clocks.
Oh my god.
Instead, I'm having to look at the moon. No, you don't understand. I had to look at the moon to figure out how long it was till daybreak.
Oh, I'm sorry. I actually have quite a few clocks back at my place of residence. Here, you can have mine.
Oh my goodness. Your place of residence, where do you reside?
It's a place called the Farm.
Oh, I've heard some things about this farm.
Yes. They are...
I've heard from a place in the far.
Yes, they are quite sweet. They were so willing to take me in after all. Although they're certainly not people I could discuss my research with, and it has been so very dreadful.
It's very hard to... You don't understand. When I went, I took little residence shortly, maybe. I heard some things about this farm, and the place I'm currently residing in doesn't seem to do well with this farm.
I can't imagine that we do well with most of the other factions in the area.
No, apparently this farm has invaded this area I'm currently staying in before.
Oh. Yes, I believe I did hear of that.
This on the down. I believe the term is keep it on the down low.
Oh, yes. Believe me, if they were to find out that I was talking with someone from that area, they would not be too pleased. So...
Oh my goodness, presumably the same. I was told, avoid the farm, don't talk to anybody, but finding a like-minded individual. It's like finding gold, as they say.
An opportunity I simply cannot pass.
Have you got a stain on your hand there?
Oh, no. Old burn scar from my mother.
Oh, you poor soul.
Yes, I used to be predominantly left-handed, actually. As you can tell, I had to learn to use my right.
When the facility I was sold to made me learn to be ambidextrous, so...
It is
I don't
quite
even know
useful.
It is ambidextrous, and you never know. The usefulness of being able to write with both hands. Never endless space on whiteboards. But yes, what sort of... So you say you worked on the infection. What did your results yield? My goodness.
Oh, well... Now, keep in mind that my research was unorthodox, something I'm sure you could understand.
What's neurosurgeon's research? Well, neurosurgery is quite unorthodox. If you mess up one thing, then their prefrontal lobe will dissolve.
That is so understandable. Unfortunately, I did try.
When I perform surgery, I'll let you talk, then I'll talk about my own misdeeds, because I've had slightly a few mishaps. But...
Of course. Yes, I did try and talk about my research recently with one of the doctors from the militia, though they haven't reached back to me, so I'm assuming they were...
Oh my goodness, another doctor? What do they specialize in?
Mycology, although I don't think they were too keen on...
A very out-of-it science.
Yes.
I understand that the wildfire was once once spore-like, but
I know.
not nowadays. It's definitely from when I was in the sector. I heard that it was much obviously from nowadays like this. It's let loss airborne, more water droplets.
Exactly. Yes, my research, I had taken a few subjects and injected them with the virus to see how the effects progressed through the stages of infection.
Ah, but was the prefrontal cortex affected at all?
It was. So, I wish I still had my notes on me.
Oh, the worst nightmare of any scientist.
But it was actually... You see, it yielded such fascinating results. You see...
Oh, do tell.
The part of the brain, Hold on, I'm...
Just racking your memory?
Yes.
It must be so long since you've talked to an individual with a similar mindset. It
really has. So... Not me actually Googling terms. So the, Sorry, it's been so... hard for me to speak as of late. The amygdala.
No, it must be this smog, this horrifying outside air. It's so dirty.
The part of the brain that was presumed for aggression, the amygdala. Yep, that's how you pronounce that. I swear.
I'm familiar.
Yes.
I'm familiar. Not my usual research part. But
right.
I'm familiar.
Well, the virus immediately latched itself to that part of the brain.
As expected as theorized.
Right, which I completely expected.
Obviously, the effective are incredibly aggressive. It's natural for them to attach themselves to the specific part of the brain that causes it.
See, but the interesting part of what happened was as the, fungus continued to infect and deconstruct the brain, it surprisingly left the cerebral cortex of the frontal lobe mainly unharmed.
My goodness, quite unique indeed.
Which would highly suggest, and unfortunately I did not get to continue this research, that the human part of what you could consider the person was still there and conscious while this was happening.
My goodness.
Even while their physical form was, rotting.
Well, that is quite interesting indeed. If the human mind part is still conscious, that provides so many intrigues into this virus.
And doesn't it? And it could have been used for such wonderful research in reverse engineering it. Of course.
Imagine you could have theoretically... There are so much possibilities.
If you could bring forth that consciousness and suppress the virus, you could have then started leading forward the research to a cure.
Maybe. Well, mental neurosurgery doesn't... When we find mental diseases, it's never proved to be the best course of action, but we've seen that in the past.
Oh,
but there's always a chance.
Most mental disorders can be fixed by simply fixing whatever chemical imbalance is happening in one's brain.
Well, chemical imbalances aren't completely responsible for the brain's activities.
Well, agree to disagree on that point.
Well, it is nice to have. Anything else? So you've lost so disheartening that you lost research. Have you got any proper facilities set up at this farm?
No, we've been quite busy. There was a raid and then people showing up injured, and they do not know when to stop getting themselves hurt.
Oh my goodness, the place I'm at has constricted me as I mentioned I was a neurosurgeon. I obviously lied my way. I also maybe elevated my ability to perform surgery.
Of course.
Self-respecting neurosurgeon can't perform regular surgery. If I don't know the certain things regarding the heart, the stomach, the intestines, or the rest of the organs, that doesn't matter until
Right, but you can sew them up, no problem.
Yes, of course, that's basic knowledge. But yes, it's. What about you? What have they got you doing in your place?
Well, oh my lord, I'm sorry. I do quite enjoy the people I'm surrounded with, but I wish they would stop showing up. They have broken so many limbs. 2 of them can't walk.
Oh dear me. And not a single prosthetic chip we could install in their spine.
I know.
Oh,
How am I supposed to set up a proper research facility when I'm constantly dealing with them?
When I was removed from my sector, my technology, I didn't have time to update my optics. I had some enhanced senses when I was in there, obviously. Some basic stuff, eyesight, vision, hearing. Just the basics.
Of course. Stuff I had wished I would have gotten.
They deteriorated because I wasn't able to grow the right stuff. I had to remove them myself, which, as you know, look at my eyes. They're a bit off color, and my vision is still a bit poor. But maybe in time it'll heal itself naturally.
Well, I'm sure that when I eventually have time to set up a proper facility, I'd love to have you over. And, well,
oh my goodness, like-minded individual. There's nothing stopping us from visiting. There's nothing stopping me from visiting as long as I claim to be a nomad.
Of course.
I mean,
and I am in quite good relations with the leader of my faction, so I'm sure I can bat my eyes.
That tone suggests otherwise. Good relations. Oh my, someone's been very busy.
Yes, well, I had initially just planned to make myself indispensable, and I suppose I did the job. We had found ourselves quite enjoying each other's company.
Oh my. I don't know if the idea of romance entices me. I've never had a chance. I mean, when you're raised as a scientist, and only taught to be a scientist, and then never really given a personality, I believe is the right word, you don't really have a need for that stuff. I know the basic logistics of it, but I never found anyone who does that.
It was something that only recently affected me. I also had no interest or logistics of it when I was actively pursuing my research. It kept me far too busy.
Far too busy, of course. Naturally.
But yes, I'm sure that I could simply say that you're friends and...
We're like-minded individuals, someone who knows what you're talking about, someone who could assist you in your duties. It's basic psychology.
Yes. And of course, we always have Citropolis, which is deemed a neutral ground.
Yes, but it is very...
out of the way.
Heavy. Also, yes, I did have to travel. I did travel quite a distance just to have a nosy, I believe is the right word, about this place.
Yes.
It's quite hard. There's so many new words that I'm learning once I'm outside the sector. People are so vulgar out here.
Aren't they?
Like, my goodness, including, I met a man, he was a woodworker. He swore at me as soon as I left, told me to get the fuck, I believe that's the right term, out. How vulgar, how rude.
It's such... those of low intelligence need other ways of expressing their intent, and I suppose their vulgarity is the reason.
Vulgarity has been proven to be an outsource. I researched it briefly when I was a teenager, curious why they chose such vulgar, dirty words to express their emotions. What do you have set? Do you have any specific facilities set up at this farm?
We do have a small clinic. You know, things with your basics, your medicines, bandages, sewing equipment.
Do you have any antiseptics, any anesthetics? We have none.
I believe we do. I can't imagine how much. It's not technically my office, it's the doctor's. But
there's a doctor? My goodness.
Well, doctor in the loosest term of doctor.
Oh, let me guess, they're a veterinarian.
I don't even think they ever got licensed for much.
What are they? Why are they in charge then? You may have had your lives under vote, but you have the years of experience.
To be fair, they have been there for much longer than I have.
But but you're the only one who theoretically. I think probably we're one of two people in this entire area. I don't actually know how big this place is that have people in it that can probably perform surgery.
Yes, that is true. I have been the one knowing most of the surgical procedures since I've arrived.
If you 1 second, do you have a walkie-talkie?
I do, yes.
Well, let's see. How many channels do these have? 16.
We would be channel 1.
You use channel 1.
Yes.
The farm uses channel 1.
Yes.
What? Let's see. I don't remember what they told me what channels they use, but I'm concerned that they might. What is a channel? Maybe we could work at a channel that they won't be able to pick up on.
Unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure which ones. I will have to ask.
Oh my goodness, you have such a lovely upgraded one. I was given this rinky-dink, is that the right word? Rinky-dink iron one.
Yes.
I need to upgrade it.
These were the ones that they provided me, so...
Oh my goodness, so disappointing. I was told to upgrade it myself!
Oh!
Because I need to get they told me to go mine for resources.
Oh, yes.
A scientist mining.
I know! I recently had to divulge myself to such vulgarity as well for ammunitions.
Ammunition? I don't know, I'm not very skilled with a gun. I'm barely struggling to fit this gas mask over my head. I had to cut off my hair. It was I had to cut off my hair when I left because it was so hard to maintain.
Oh, yes.
It was such a lovely lock. Did you have to cut? I'm assuming. Let me see. Is your hair still?
Yes. I also had to cut mine as well.
Oh, scientists and cutting our hair off. So sad.
To be fair, I was with a mercenary group for the last 5 years. They had taught me quite a bit of self-survival skills.
I travelled with several nomad groups over the years.
Oh, really?
They ended up all dying, tragically.
Yes.
And their supplies needed reclaiming, so, of course.
A noble understanding. My last group, unfortunately, met their end as well.
What is with scientists and nomad groups? So sad they always end up.
Well, at least you made it out alive. I found this conversation quite stimulating.
It has been finding a like-minded individual. I don't know about you, but I don't think I might mention that I met someone. You may mention me if you wish. I know for me, you may mention me. No, I will mention nothing about you. Maybe mention that I'm told that you should go in pairs, and I may have, as you can obviously tell, I went out alone. I might not mention I left. They believe I'm staying in a lighthouse.
I see. Well, we have a moment. You have my clock.
It is barely into the night.
Oh, yes, probably. The nights do seem to take forever.
Must be the lack of lighting and such.
When daybreak comes, I would love to escort you to the farm, so at least you know where it is.
Of course, I must set up something to remind myself so it's easy to find it.
Yes. It's not too far.
Sorry, of course, it was so lovely. My goodness, how tall are you, by the way? Because it looks. Oh! Help! I fell through the floor.
Oh my god!
Help!
Just keep beating me. It's fine. Okay, that works too.
I can't get out.
It's fine. We'll fix the floor in a minute. Okay, get up.
Oh, I set the response. Let's fix that. Why is there a hole? So, sitting here. Okay, but sit down. Let's get back to character.
Yes, I'm sorry. That was just really funny.
It was 3. Let's wait. Okay, yeah, we're good. 3, 2, 1. Show me the farm. That would be very nice. How far away is the farm, anyway?
Honestly, it's not too far. You have to go up a highway, but
Oh my goodness, climbing is so
I
exhausting.
know, they have made me go through so much physical labor since I've gotten here.
No, they're telling me they're going to start training me in physical labor, and I'm like,
Training?
please.
Oh my...
Well, yes, because apparently I can't rely on staying behind all the time. I mean, obviously sometimes, but you can't expect a scientist to wander around collecting supplies.
That's what I said. Yes, no, one of
goodness,
my members had dragged me out and about, saying that I needed the fresh air and can't stay in the office all day.
I mean, well, there's fresh air, there's ventilation everywhere. What are they on about?
That was my response exactly.
Some people are so odd. But, yes, if you ever need help with surgery, just feel free to send me, communicate with me and I'll be as soon over as I can.
Oh.
It'd be so... Imagine how fast your surgeries would go if you had 2 hands
I
working
know,
away.
and imagine how both of our research could progress once we have a proper facility.
Oh my goodness, if we get even a basic brain scanning machine, I would cry. Well, I wouldn't cry, but I would. I imagine we could get somebody to cry for us.
Oh, how I
goodness.
missed my research.
How I miss talking to somebody who understands what I'm saying. I feel if I delved into the advanced neurological procedures of the memory cortex, I would be looked at
You
like
said
I have.
you were studying memories and trauma, right?
Yes, memories, how they react to trauma, how memories can be suppressed.
Suppression, really fascinating.
Well, it was a brief study. Brief. Very brief. Is there a thing under that television?
No, I think it's just meant to be, like, a stand.
Oh. Well, it looks like it could be a handy crawl space if you ever need it.
Yes, it could be. Honestly,
Could you crawl under there?
don't have anything on me that would allow for that, but I'm sure we could.
Probably. It wouldn't be that hard to figure out how to get under there. I mean, I would... it's not the bed. I did scratch for clothing. I see you've done it, but you are a lot more... You have a lot more lovely outfit than me.
Yes, it's just a storage.
Quite handy to hide, though.
Interesting. We'd have to get a secondary thing to close the, Don't mind me, just fixing what I broke. Oh. Incorrect placement. Well, actually, I'm not sure how I'm going to fix that.
There we go. I don't think... We can't get back under there. Oh, no.
Oh, well,
Well, we could try.
in the name of research. Okay. Okay, so what you'll do is you will hand that to me. Yes. There we go.
Lovely. I know you never answered. I got interrupted. How tall are you? Because I look a bit. I know I should be a bit taller.
I am 5'6".
Oh, I am 6'4". My goodness.
Oh.
I am not. Oh my goodness. Standing up next to you now. Oh my.
Why is everybody taller than me?
Well, I'm a unique. Apparently, they've not met a lot of tall women are usually quite tall. So it's been quite entertaining seeing these people who are probably used to being tall being quite short. I'm assuming I'm quite tall in this general area.
Yeah, I think that there are a few people who are taller. I know someone at the militia is quite tall. His name is Broker.
Intriguing.
But I would love to hear more about your research. I have a friend who is currently experiencing issues with memory loss.
Oh, my goodness, this is the same friend that happens to be in charge, or...
Well, I mean, he is afflicted with the same ailment, but he's not quite struggling with it the way that she is.
I mean, I theoretically could, but it would be. I would require. I can only do so much without any equipment.
Understandably.
Maybe see. If you bring him, if I was brought to him and maybe informed, I could maybe see what I can maybe have a look, but no guarantees of anything without any solid, and without any solid pieces.
Of course. Honestly, I'm not even sure that it could be reversible. I'm just more fascinated by the research than anything.
Could you detail what his ailment is? Maybe I can see if I've heard of anything similar.
They had their memories forcefully removed from them, and now...
Forcibly removed, you say? Wait, were they... I heard about this. Were they in this... Were they in the government maze?
Oh, they were.
My goodness, I heard this was all talk of the sector. My goodness, when I was still there. My goodness, the talk of the sector.
I
the
know.
maze. Apparently there was a rebel break-in. The genius who designed the system apparently lost her life during the raid.
Oh no.
Her paper, I believe I read it once. She was a brilliant scientist. I wished she was in the mentor program for my thing, but I sadly never got her.
Oh.
She apparently said it wasn't a form of deletion, more than a form of suppression.
Really?
To push the memories deep into the subconscious. Have you ever met anyone who had a similar experience that had memories come back?
Well, actually, one of the other people from the maze, I'm with quite a few of them.
Oh my, quite unnerving then, being with so many criminals.
I mean, I'm wanted as well, so it's not like it's...
But, well, I'm not wanted, but I was thrown out, so if you consider that criminal.
But yes, one of them has been explaining that they've been hearing and seeing things from their past.
Huh. She never detailed anything. She maybe mentioned that under the right circumstances a memory could resurface, but it'd be very small.
Well, that's what I explained.
Like, if a memory is buried so deep into the subconscious, it would require very specific circumstances for them to re-trigger. Kind of like how the body will remember the trauma when the brain won't.
Exactly. That's what I was explaining. She said that she experienced them when she was exploring a lab of sorts. I said that it was more likely because she had experience in a lab and said circumstances were reminding her.
You would need a very specific set of circumstances. First, you would need if I were to look at this long term, I would need an advanced, and I mean advanced, brain machine.
No.
Several years to actually work, because it would take a while to analyze and then implement a therapy to work out how to get the memories to slowly. Because if I were to figure out how to do it all at once, I believe they might go like the beta test into my subjects and their brain to liquefy and leak out of their ears.
Of course.
And we do, obviously, sometimes there will be rough ones, but from what you've told me, I don't think they would like it if someone of their people started leaking, their brains are leaking out of their ears.
Oh no, they'd be quite perturbed, and I would hate for anything to happen.
Of course, well, it's very hard to find it'd be very hard to find someone of like-minded individualness.
I know.
Oh, so sorry.
Oh.
So sorry, having quite a bit of a headache.
Oh, it's quite alright.
Just, oh my, there are some things happening in my head. Oh, it appears there's something important that is happening. I think that might involve you in my head.
Oh, is it?
I saw something.
Oh, yes, they are finally.
I can't scroll up and see what the actual post was.
Let me see.
I'm trying to look up and scroll up what the actual original post was, but it's not letting me.
It's Via's wanted poster.
Ah!
That's so silly, and I love it.
That is quite entertaining. Oh wow, medical malpractice? Who would do that? My goodness. 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Well, it is lovely to find someone to talk to.
It is.
So, did you develop any other things that came from your research?
Well, there were quite a few. Unfortunately, I had spent most of my time researching cadavers. you know. But only so much can come from dead subjects.
I agree.
And so when I had taken my alive subjects, they were my parents. So there was that.
Oh my, parental trauma. We're kindred spirits. It's the only difference is that mine rightfully, well, I don't know how to feel, because if they hadn't sold me, I might have never become the intelligent woman I am today. But they did sell me to the government
Yes.
due to my high IQ. So, neutral feelings.
My parents were awful human beings who were doing absolutely nothing with their existence, so I put them to quite good use.
How wasteful.
I know.
If you're given life, you should make use of it. And if they aren't useful, then they make use of their bodies.
So I had started my research, and unfortunately, when I had attempted to continue it, they broke down the door to my facility and threw me in jail.
Oh, so wrongfully thrown in for such a kindred... Lonely souls are often kindred minds, so goes the saying.
Yes, indeed. It's so hard to tell what time of day it is in this area.
Let us see. Well, the clock says it's... Well, maybe let's... Well, the clock can be a little bit off. Let's see. Let's see if there's any sunlight. Oh, it's so dark.
We are in a cellar.
Well, no, I mean in general. Oh! Morning!
Oh, look at that.
Well, maybe we should... Shall we head on that track?
Yes,
Fine.
I shall show you where I reside.
Well, I would show you mine, but I don't know if who's awake.
Oh,
right
I
now,
would
maybe.
not be welcome. I can promise you that.
Are you a confirmed member of this garden with the other factions? I guess is the right term.
I had gone to the meeting with the other two factions, and they had seen me with the farm, and...
This is the shredder. He wants uneaten mail.
Oh.
Well, he's gone now.
There was a bear.
A wee intern. This is an Irish person's spelling. Wee is quite common in the language.
I know.
I wonder who wrote it.
I'm not entirely sure.
Shall we continue?
Yes, sorry. But as I was saying, they did see me here with the farm. And...
I didn't see...
Go ahead.
Oh, little bit of XP. No, I was just saying... Oh, carrot. Oh, one thing I do miss... I'm slightly intrigued by it. When I was in the government lab, I was fed a nutrient cube instead of actual food, so it's quite interesting trying these new foods.
Have you ever had blue lemonade? Made from actual blue lemons.
Blue lemons exist?
Yes.
That sounds preposterous. May I? Oh my goodness, it is truly blue. Oh, oh my goodness, it is so sour.
I know.
My goodness, let us continue before we get
yes. So as I was... Sir. As I was saying... and then I did attempt to discuss my research with a doctor from the militia, but given that they have not gotten back to me, I assume that it was...
I believe the correct term of people with R like-mindedness is sometimes called crackheads, I believe, which is preposterous. If anyone who is cracked in the head, it's people who wield guns for fun.
Aren't I know.
Leaving Fair Hill, my goodness.
Oh.
My goodness, I will need to meet this little paramour of yours at some point.
Yes. They are quite a fascinating group.
My goodness, maybe not the whole group yet. We don't want to alarm them with another neurosurgeon.
No, it would be a slow introduction. Most of them are out as it is.
Is your paramour one of them?
Yes, he's currently out as well.
Oh, so disappointing.
Well, he did take it upon himself to go. We got raided recently.
Oh, you poor soul. Did you lose anything?
Not that I'm aware of. We did take care of most of them.
I meant your research.
Oh.
Lies extended, obviously.
No. It was fine. I was fine.
Oh, that's all that matters then, isn't it, in the grand scheme?
isn't it? But one of them did get away, and he was quite perturbed by it, insisted on going after the fool.
One of the people who have raided you?
Yes.
How bizarre.
I believe that...
Oh, are you alright?
Sorry, I tend to get a little lost.
Oh, you're fine. Are we on the right track?
Yes, we are.
Amazing. How far away are we? Are we getting close?
We'll have to go up a highway, and then it'll be a straight shot, I promise.
I wish they had motorized vehicles and easy access.
Well, there are none that run.
Yeah. Motorized vehicles are something I miss dearly about the sector. So easy. Trains.
I know.
Trains is something I miss. I see tracks, I think, what wondrous thing for the everyday scientist.
There are quite a few
my.
cars up here, but none of them run.
I don't imagine so. It's probably been years since any of them have had any diesel or petrol put into them.
I know. Now it's a straight shot.
Oh, delightful.
Well, other than also climbing through a plane, but...
Oh! The humanity of it all.
Well, there are quite a few points of interest I should point out to you as well.
Hospital.
Yes.
I heard stuff about a hospital. Has it been? It's apparently been quite raided.
Well, boars run rampant in there.
Yes. Fair. Hordes. My goodness, I've never been unfortunate enough to find a horde yet.
Oh, yes. There was also the blind. Quite a few reside in there as well.
The blind.
Yes. Have you not met one?
No, I've mostly traveled during the day, slept up high during the night, so I've been quite safe.
Yes. Terrifying creatures. Highly recommend avoiding.
Well, I don't plan to get any fighting, because what good scientist will fight somebody?
No. I ran into one on my way home once.
Dear.
Their screams are so loud, I thought I ruptured an eardrum.
You poor soul.
This is the amusement park.
Oh, does any of it still run?
No. Well, actually, there's a coaster that still runs.
Oh, how delightful. Oh, is it that?
No, it brings you to the most wonderful place in this park. They had a star room and a spaceship.
A star room?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, astronomy, such a unique science.
Isn't
such
it?
a unique combination of science
I
and history.
know. Well, I'll have to take you at some point.
My goodness, we must. We have to. Maybe when you. Do you know how long your paramour will be out?
Unfortunately, I don't. I can't imagine it's quite a while. They're going to some place called the Scorched.
Oh my goodness, is that not a massive. I've heard briefly mentioned about it. Apparently, there's not much there.
No, it's a massive desert.
But how will they survive? They won't be able to find. Have they packed enough supplies?
Yes, they packed quite a bit of it, and I made sure that they did. Medical supplies, food, etc.
Oh my goodness, but sacrifice. I know they must. They are your teammate, your faction people, but the amount of resources those people must have used to get them. Because who will. They have. Question. Do you have needles?
I believe we do, although I think the doctor might have taken them with her.
All of your needles? What will you ever do?
We didn't have quite a lot. I'm sure I could fashion more.
No, it's alright. We have a few. We have a lot. Ours are so oddly shaped, though. They have no accurate dosages. Apparently, they've been doing it off the eye.
Oh my lord.
No half doses, full doses, quarter doses, or eighth doses. The utter shock of it all. Oh, this is quite a large tunnel.
Yes. It's right past the tunnel, though, so...
So handy for us all.
And honestly, to be fair, that friend I was telling you about, the one experiencing the memory issues, I've seen her drink a whole bottle of morphine, just straight from the bottle.
Morphine?
Morphine!
And she didn't overdose?
No!
My goodness, what have they been feeding these faction members?
To be fair, her anatomy is quite peculiar. She seems to be part rabbit.
Part rabbit? My goodness. I've never heard of any hybrids surviving past beta testing.
Yes, there are a few of them at the farm.
My goodness.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over the sound of my gunshots.
No, I asked if the farm is where the hybrids will localize.
I suppose. I think they all came from the maze.
Ah, so they must have been failed experiments.
Yes, that is my presumption.
I mean, if we would be able to figure out exactly why. Presumably their reason for being shoved in was suppressed as well. You may be able to inform them. Maybe you found. What if we say? Well, I don't believe I have any of the. I believe I might have in one of my bag. I have a few bags with me, obviously.
Right.
That might have a detailed report on this of the scientist. Her name remains anonymous because I believe she was in the same program I was.
Mm-hmm.
So her name is anonymous in all her research reports, but it's very familiar writing. I may be able to see you it, and you can show that the memories are not deleted, but yeah, they're suppressed.
I see.
Obviously, without the proper equipment, it'd be impossible for them to come back, but...
Right, of course. Just a moment. I do have to hop the fence because nobody else is awake.
Oh, my farm mailbox.
Yes, we send mail to the other factions.
Is there a postman? A postwoman?
Well, there's the post office in Chatropolis.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
That tends to be our meeting ground. This is our regular post office.
Is this inside the farm's territory?
Yes, this is all our territory. Anything walled in.
I see that on the post office you don't include the Grove.
No, we aren't exactly on good terms with them.
I don't imagine. I've heard some negative things from the Grove's first people.
Yes. That's why I do believe that we should keep our relations quiet.
And if they ever stumble across me, you can just say you found me. I do actually feel quite tired now, so I might not be able to make it back. I might need to collapse in your medical tent. Because I may need to go do something. I may not be able to get back awake for the rest of the day.
That's quite understandable. We can also... That's my house right there. You can always rest there as well.
This one?
No, that is my darling's house.
Ah, quite...
I live right here.
Xenius. Quite a unique name.
We go by Icy here.
Oh. Why does he choose a nickname?
Personal reasons, I suppose.
Have you not looked into it?
I have, but it's not really my story to share.
Well, naturally.
You can always rest up here if needed.
Oh, do you have spare? You seem to only have one gas mask. I assume you have spares.
Oh,
somewhere.
yes, those are actually up by the front gate.
Oh, so your place seems quite organized. I wish I stumbled across you first.
I'm not sure they would have liked another person showing up, especially while they're gone.
Well, I mean, who's the de facto person in charge?
Of course, that would be me.
Well, a fellow neurosurgeon maybe would have liked a temporary liaison.
Oh,
maybe.
Well, I'm sure that I could have convinced them.
Well, it's just the unfortunateness. My goodness, let me just check. Oh my goodness, oh, I believe I need to collapse immediately.
Well, you have a good night then.
Thank you. It was wondrous meeting you.
Yes.
I'll leave a note for you whatever channel we work out that they won't talk
Of
on.
course, and I will be sure to verify what channels they do and do not use.
Yes, of course. Goodbye.
Good night. Anyway, that's all I had to do, so goodbye now.